I'm living here for almost 6 years, and my children they study in Polish schools. So I got motivated from that, and also since it's not just 1 or 2 years, like it's more than that. So I thought of learn the language of the land to 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 get close to the people also, right? And this also helps us in the long term when you stay in another country. Challenges, I should say, the first thing is finding time, and then I'm not good at languages because I know only two languages so far before Polish. It was my mother tongue and then English. English is because of the education. Even in India, many states are many many people they have to learn at least three languages due to the educational system. But the state I come from, we have only two languages. So I had this feeling that I'm not good at languages, and then also this baggage of Polish being world's toughest language. Because now even before I come, people say that now this language is very difficult to learn. And the other one is the language is really difficult. The challenges, grammar, yes, also challenges. Some of the rules, it's not all the rules, but some of the rules are quite tricky, with the exceptions, needless to say. And also, like I have no opportunity to speak the language at my work. Actually, before I got this course with Elemelingua, I had tried different approaches. So I was trying with some language schools, but it's not flexible. So I used to get like a couple of hours per week. That's the most standard form of the course. I could not do the intensive course. And there is also this thing about the cost of the course is I don't know, this may be the standard for the in the Europe, but I find that the cost is too high, for what you get and what you pay. I see a great mismatch, and I do not have the flexibility to study on my own. So I tried a couple of schools, and then finally I decided that no, I need to, maybe I have to settle down my own method. At that point of time, like I got to know that this course exists, and then I got impressed from the beginning because I find that it has some scientific approach, because the person who developed being an expert, he identified your learning methodology, how you learn, how your attitude to learn, how your mind works. So from that, this course has devised a unique approach that comes with, let's say, the standard forms, getting used to the standard forms that you have to use in your everyday life. But these standard forms are so scientifically designed that all different cases, the so-called cases that are very complicated in the Polish system, they are scientifically designed and spread across these everyday life situations that will give you some idea to feel the language. So when I did this practice multiple times, it's not even like I would have spent like 45-50 minutes for about 3 months, even less, because I was suggested to take this for 3 months, but I took it like about 2 months and 2.5 months. I could feel the difference. I got used to all the forms, and then this also helped in a way that my grammar sense has dramatically improved. But I owe to the course about my passing the exam. Even I was not studying last 10 days before my exam, but still, like, all the forms stayed with me. That's important here. I was so happy actually, because not many people took this exam and finished this exam, at least in my inner circle. So this is very good, and I was my confidence has improved a lot after this course and after this exam results. So yes, primarily it's about understanding. Say, for example, I know a lot of words. Still, I have the problem of forming the sentences using these words, right? But now, after the course, I try to, or I can understand the sound as one full sentences rather than like few words in between, right? So I understand the form. That's the biggest difference I see. If you speak like I may not be able to speak fluently, but if when someone speaks clearly, say for example news readers, or like some of the discussions on television, podcasts, even if they speak little faster than normal, but if they are clear, I can easily understand the whole sentence rather than few words in between. I find that's the biggest challenge actually for a beginning Polish speaker, because initially I thought like what I heard is only like few words, but this also fits into this, right? The listening is important because you must get used to the forms. That's very important, because when you start talking anyway, you have to, or you will be forced to think and try to form this grammatical structure by thinking about each and every word. Mam na imię Saba, jestem z Indii. Mam dwa dzieci. Jestem informatykiem. Mieszkam w Warszawie 6 lat. Bardzo lubię mieszkam tutaj. Ja mam wiele przyjaciół z Polski. Dzień jest dobrze. Dzisiaj jestem w biurze. Ja czułem to bardzo dobrze. Ja mam wiele spotkań dziś, ale jest ok.